Games that force their players to make tough choices have seemingly become a subgenre of their own in recent years. It is especially prevalent in more text-based games, where those choices can have significantly more impact than they can have in a highly produced game where every action has to be rendered in excruciating detail. A lot of the choices those games will give you are between two extremely shitty things. There's never really a good choice in any of these games. But the Shrouded Isle takes that to the next level. You lead a cult that lives on an island exiled from the rest of civilization, and your job is to enforce strict adherence to the tenets of your religion. This involves not only ensuring that people are following the rules of the religion, but like the leader of any cult, you're making sure that all of your cult members are being kept in line, in their place where they belong, which makes you this mix of fascistic leader and benevolent pseudo-pope. The core mechanic of the game is based around bars, lots and lots of bars. Each one of these bars is associated with some sort of virtue, like penance and discipline. Each one of the bars needs to be kept above a certain level. For example, if discipline is not kept above the bare minimum, your devotees will lose any semblance of self-control, and everything will fall apart. Instant game over. The turns of the game are represented as being seasons of the calendar year. At the start of each season, you'll need to pick an advisor from each of the families on the island. And this is where things start to get interesting. At the end of each season, you'll have to choose one of these advisors to sacrifice in order to keep the eldritch terrors you worship pleased. But these advisors are also the people who help you raise those bars I mentioned earlier, and their strengths and weaknesses affect how much your bars will go up and down. These strengths and weaknesses in turn are slowly revealed to you over the course of the game, through both just asking nicely and slow methodical torture. And as you learn more and more about your citizens, you'll be able to use them more and more effectively. But even then, you're left with a choice at the end of each season. The choice is whether you choose a person you know to be incompetent and maybe even a heretic in order to purposefully sacrifice them at the end of the season, or do you pick a whole bunch of competent people to get your bars filled up quickly, only to be forced to kill one of them at the end of the season? And, as should be obvious, the families aren't particularly thrilled when you kill one of their own, heresy be damned. So, sometimes you may have an obvious heretic that needs to be killed in one of the families, but you just killed another member of that family last season, and you don't want that family to get too pissed at you because families have their own bars as well. You have to keep them personally happy, or else you get screwed there too. There are a lot more layers to all of this than I've gotten into here, but if this hasn't gotten you interested in checking out the Shrouded Isle, you likely won't get a ton out of it anyway. This game is one that presents you with tough choices one after another, and its goal seems to be to turn you into that sadistic, merciless cult leader just so you can win the game. And the most disturbing thing is just how enjoyable that is along the way.